Thank you for tuning into The Pretty Fix. I am celebrity makeup artist Melissa Murdoch, and this tutorial is for all of the beautiful trans women and literally anyone else out there who wants to know how to cover their 5 o'clock shadow. If you've watched other tutorials about this online, you've probably seen a lot of really crazy techniques, like people using lipstick, which, by the way, contains thick oils that can totally clog your pores, or people painting their face really orange to where they look like an Oompa Loompa. Unfortunately, these are nowhere close to what you should be doing if you want a professional and natural looking result. In this video, I'm gonna drop some serious knowledge and show you the right products and the right techniques that you need to make your 5 o'clock shadow completely undetectable, while also making sure that your makeup still looks natural and lightweight. I know that especially for trans women, this is a really important part of your makeup routine. And I also know that virtually nobody outside of beauty gurus wants to feel like they have a ton of makeup packed onto their face. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Part of the challenge with covering a 5 o'clock shadow is the often rough and uneven texture of the skin there. So we want to do as best we can to start to create a smoother surface before we begin applying makeup. After you've done a clean and close shave, apply either a post-shave balm and/or a moisturizer to your entire beard area. Just as a side note, using an aftershave balm is really ideal because especially if you find yourself shaving daily to do this process, you need to use products that calm the irritation and also prevent ingrown hairs or pimples from forming in this area. Now that your skin is nicely hydrated, you want to also apply a very thin layer of foundation primer all over your face. Not only does this primer make the makeup stay on longer, it's also going to help further create that smoother texture to the skin there that we're after. Once your primer is in place, if you're going to be wearing a full face of foundation, feel free to apply it as usual all over your face, into your beard area, and down your neck now. To cover your 5 o'clock shadow, you will need a liquid or cream color corrector that is appropriate for you specifically, which I'm about to get into, 2 synthetic hair domed blending brushes, a liquid concealer that matches your skin tone, a large fluffy powder brush, and a loose translucent powder. Now, just a moment ago, I mentioned that you need a color corrector that is specifically geared towards your beard, hair, and skin color. In most tutorials, you're gonna see someone flat out telling you that you either use a deep orange or a bright red color corrector, as if that is going to magically work for everyone, which it totally won't. You're going to analyze what tone is still showing through as a shadow. The 3 main tones that you might see are brown, greenish blue, or bluish gray. If it seems as though you have a brownish shadow left behind, you're gonna need to use a color corrector on the pink to red scale. The deeper your skin tone, the richer and deeper that color corrector should also be. So for example, if you're fair, stick to the pink range. If you have a medium or tan skin tone, start moving to a deeper salmon pink color. And if you have a deep skin tone, you're gonna start edging towards a more true red shade. If your beard shadow comes through as having a mostly greenish blue tint, you're gonna need to stick in the range of peachy orange color correctors. If your beard shadow shows through as a bluish gray tone, you'll wanna use orange color correctors that range from a light orange to a full bright orange, depending on how deep your skin tone is. Just as a reminder, I have recommendations right below this video so you can have some guidance on what to get if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed. Just look below. To start canceling out your beard tone, pick up just a little bit of color corrector onto your blending brush and then start patting it firmly up and down just onto the areas where you see the shadow coming through or where you know they're going to come through later. This is a blending technique we call stippling, and using a brush rather than just a finger is what's really going to get that product worked into the skin, especially since this area has a lot of texture. Be selective in where you apply the corrector. You don't just want to put it all over your face. You want to use it only in the areas that really need it. Try to make sure that your application of this color corrector is not super heavy. Most tutorials have people piling on gobs of color corrector to where it's fully opaque, and this is actually going to make your makeup super noticeable and cakey in person. Now that you've color corrected every shadow that you see, it's time to bring your natural skin tone back into this area. Using the exact same technique as before, apply the concealer that matches your skin tone using your second clean blending brush to go over the entire area using a stippling motion. You don't have to be so selective in placing the concealer. It's actually totally fine to blend past the borders of your color corrector in order to make everything disappear seamlessly into the skin. Again, just make sure you are applying a thin layer and not caking on tons of product. And then make sure that you keep patting until you see the edges of the concealer disappear into the skin. Not only is powdering going to set the makeup in place, it's also going to take away the shine, which will in turn make this area look visibly smoother instead of bumpy. Even if you have slightly dry skin, this is absolutely necessary. Just use the least amount of powder possible if that's the case. Pour out just a small amount of loose powder into the cap of the product. Then pick some up onto your big fluffy brush, tap it off to get rid of the excess, and then lightly press the powder over the entire area you've previously covered until everything is set in place. Once you have gone through one round of this entire process, you might notice that there's just a few spots that are still breaking through. If this is the case, you can totally repeat this process just in those areas until everything is completely hidden. Now that you have successfully covered your 5 o'clock shadow, which is so exciting, you want to make sure that it stays covered. So keep in mind that your skin is a living and breathing organ, and that obviously new hair is going to be breaking through the surface throughout the day. So if you want to truly keep your stubble out of view, make sure that you bring the products you used with you in a makeup bag along with a mirror, and then do a touch-up a few times throughout the day as necessary. That's really all there is to it. The more you practice these techniques, the easier and quicker this process is going to become for you. If you have any questions whatsoever, make sure that you comment them below this video because I am here to help you. Also, if this video helped you at all, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button along with the notifications bell so that you don't miss out on any of the other amazing tutorials I have coming your way. If you want to keep this makeup train rolling, you should also head over to my full site, which is theprettyfix.com, where you're going to find tons of other amazing makeup know-how.